User testing not only helps the designers identify loopholes, but also helps the business with ideas and aid the product team in general with idea generation. Hi everyone, welcome to 10 Minutes of Design with Chinedu Unfiltered. Here, we'll be talking about UX design, product strategy, products people use and how they make them feel, the latest technologies and how it is used by UX designers. All this from a professional, data-driven and personal view which is undiluted. In today's episode, we'll be talking about user testing and usability testing. What are they? And at what stage do you use any of these testing methods? What is more challenging about building a digital product you don't understand who the users are is not understanding the pain points you are designing for. And I have come to see quite a number of products in this category. In as much as products are exciting to build and take to market, the most painful part is not identifying what would really help users achieve their maximum goal in the easiest way possible. These products, when you use them, don't have a soul. They lack proper planning, the experience is out of place and form, and they look like every other product out there. I have been a victim of this so many times, and sometimes I tend to ask myself, is this what being a product person is all about? Sometimes it is my fault because of my lack of proper planning, and other times it is the insistent request from the client. I always wonder if there is something better we can do about it and how we can advance a product by actually doing the right thing. So I tend to ask myself some questions before commencing with any project. The questions are, who are the people I am designing for? What are they and their circle like? What do they currently need and what are the issues they are currently experiencing? Will they appreciate what this solution would help them with? How do I make sure that what I am designing for is the right thing? How do I track the progress of everything I am working on? What's better, going with the breeze or actually doing something impactful and meaningful? I always try to have only good intentions towards the product I work on. It gives me a different perspective to creating the solutions required for the product and embolden me to really do the work needed. And these testing types really help you do the work that needs to be done. So, what is user testing and usability testing? What is the difference between these two testing types? And when exactly do they come in during the product development process? Trust me, I was as confused as anyone who is yet to get a grasp of it. When I started designing digital products, the bootcamp I attended mostly taught students about the human-centered design process, which the final process is always testing. Testing is what is mostly talked about. There was hardly any emphasis on the types of testing that is needed to be carried out. So when I got into an organization that is keen on user testing, it was challenging and overwhelming at the same time. But over time, it became second nature to me, and I was able to understand what is required when conducting a user testing. So let's get more clarity on what user testing and usability testing are. What is user testing? User testing is a research method that involves observing how real people interact with a product or service. It's a key part of the product development process. User testing helps the product team identify number 1, loopholes, number 2, validate assumptions, number 3, explore and analyze the target audience behavior, number 4, identify new opportunities, features, and innovative process, and finally, identify issues that might arise before the product is launched. If I were to define usability testing, it would also fall in the same category of user testing. And that is because usability testing is a category under the types of user testing we have. To better explain what I mean, the types of user testing we have are number 1, usability testing, right? Number 2, focus groups testing. Number 3, one-on-one interview. Number 4, accessibility testing. Another types of testing are number 1, tree testing. Number 2, cart sorting. Number 3, performance testing. Number 4, gorilla testing. And the list goes on. To better explain what usability testing is, I should expand more on it. Usability testing is a method of evaluating the functionality of a digital product by observing users as they try to complete tasks. Key indicators between the definition of user testing and usability testing are observation. This key indicator shows that user testing and the categories of user testing is all about observing how users behave using digital products, how they interact and engage with it, and the feedback we get from the testing and actions they carry out. So let's talk about the benefits of user testing. User testing not only helps the designers identify loopholes, but also helps the business with ideas and aid the product team in general with idea generation. Since we are designing the product for the users, who better to tell us what they need than the users we are designing for? So, these are the reasons why we conduct user testing. Number 1, to save time and resources. Number 2, to identify opportunities. Number 3, to ensure ease of use. Number 4, to obtain unbiased opinion. Number 5, to gain a competitive advantage. A few years ago, I joined a project that required me to conduct a lot of user testing. The company had an established customer base. The product was new and we wanted to validate the experience that has been designed. We conducted a focus group session. Now mind you, this was my first time ever participating in a user testing, especially with me coming from a background where I worked on different products that never launched before the company shut down. I was eager to learn and understand how it is done, what the steps are, and what the eventual feedback was going to be like. After the focus group sessions, I felt a sort of relief, and the reason was that we got more feedback on how to improve the experience and the feedback on new features we can introduce. This was really weird in the sense that it felt too easy, especially for something I have never experienced or participated in before. We went ahead to implement some of the changes we observed during the session and also the feedback from the users or participants. A few months later, I was appointed to lead the focus group session for another product. The experience I got from the previous session I participated in helped me establish a base and also encouraged me to even go further with the testing. The result was an incredible overhaul of the product homepage and the experience of the loan process. Since my first, I have participated in numerous user testing, ranging from usability testing to one-on-one interviews to focus group sessions and so on. I once mentioned in my previous podcast that the best way to learn is by doing. If I'm unable to act on what I have learned, it is a waste of time for me and the person teaching. User testing has gone beyond being confined in a room. User testing can be conducted remotely, and every slight chance you have to improve your product, please do. It will help you cut costs, help you improve your product, and also help you enhance your existing implementation. So we can then go ahead and ask ourselves, when does it come in the product development process? I mean usability testing and user testing. I can categorically say number 1, before design, number 2, during design, and number 3, after design and implementation. User testing is a continuous process that requires that the product continues to be refined for better improvement for the users. Let's talk a little bit about the steps to take when conducting user testing. First of all, you need to define the goal. Knowing what you need from a user testing session will help you achieve what you need achieved. Secondly, you need to choose a method. The method you choose, such as usability testing, focus group sessions, treat testing, and so on, will help you maximize your finding, and with this, you are set to get more out of the user testing session. Thirdly, find the users. If you are working for an established company with existing user base, then it shouldn't be a problem unless the product is pivoting. But if you're a new product and you're looking for users, then you can try the participants you got feedbacks from during your research. Fourthly, create task scenarios. Task scenarios are the best way to hint a participant on what they need to do, but without giving them too much. Such scenarios can be rent a house, buy a car, order a meal, add a friend, and so on. These scenarios should be goal-oriented based on the testing required. Number 5, replicate the user's environment. Replicating the user's environment requires that you have a script that can be used multiple times for different participants. This includes when and how you do something. This might seem over the top, but trust me, this is the only way you can be 100% certain that your results are accurate. Number 6, analyze the findings. Now, you have everything you need. It is the moment you have been waiting for. You have defined your goal, chosen a method, found the users, created task scenarios, and replicated the environment. This is the time to gather the results, analyze the participants' response, what issue you might have uncovered, and to confirm if your hypotheses have been proven. After all this, the real work begins, where you'd have to work towards making sure that you can implement your findings. Finally, since the product development process solely depends on iterations, the process of testing, analyzing, and implementing is a continuous one which will be repeated over and over again. So let's recap. Number 1, usability testing is a child of user testing and both do the same thing. Hence, you understand what the user's needs are. Number 2, user testing is relevant for every product and how you go about it also matters. Number 3, user testing comes in before, during, and after the product has been developed. It is a continuous process. Number 4, user testing helps you save time, money, and so much more. Number 5. One important thing to note about user testing and usability testing is observation. It is important in every way. Number 6. Always have a goal in mind when conducting user testing. I hope this has been helpful and enlightening to you. Kindly tune in to my next episode. Till next time, signing out, Chinedu.